The sheer cheek of that comment section. Thanks to everybody for all your comments. I can confirm that my kettle isn't broken. I had to restart my laptop and all of that because it wasn't picking up the microphone for some reason. So I'm just going to double check this before we proceed so we don't... Oh, it's on. Very good. Let us know if you can hear us loud and clear as well. That would be mad appreciated. As you can probably hear, I'm still not 100%. Had a terrible night's sleep again last night. Woke up at 10 to 1. It's around 1 o'clock in the morning for some reason. I'm not going to give you the gory details, but toilets get involved. And then I didn't get back to sleep till 5. Then I was up at 7 to walk the dog. That's what you got to do. That's how it is. So once again, I mean, you can probably see by how ruffled up that bed is. I usually make it lovely behind, nice and straight. Just been laying down on it, trying to get this work off. But centrist meltdown, if you think I wasn't going to turn up and leech on their faces today, you certainly have another thing coming. And you definitely don't know the levels of petty that I have, only to rival 50 Cent. It's a wonderful time. The most wonderful time of the year. Centrist meltdown time, not Christmas. Ha! Right again, everybody. That's you, because it's about you. It's not about me. Honestly, I read that. I'm not even going to get into who put that in a thing, but just fucking 136. Pull it back. Rinse it back. Regulars will know what I'm on about. See who's about in the comments. In fact, I know cheeky 1, cheeky 2, cheeky 3, cheeky 4, and cheeky 5. But also Glasgow. Good. I love the petty. They deserve it. And you know all about that because well done for flying the flag and getting absolutely destroyed in your review section by right-wing Christian anti-trans conservatives. If everybody would like to go over to Glasgow the Reds Facebook page, and I think it's just Glasgow on there now, and just leave great reviews just to counterbalance the absolute rotters that have been stinking up the system. MTV Matty in the house, proper the opposite of a salad dodger. Salad loves telling he's a vegan. It has been doing it for fat end of 10 years, and it's one of the funniest things you've ever known. Very quiet, the sound, says Emily. Could you do us a favor, and could you all let us know whether you can hear us loud and clear and all that, or whether Emily just needs to turn up our volume. Give it a whirl, man. Many thanks, says Glasgow. No, seriously, get across the page, leave some good reviews. Also, give it to the... Is there a reply to the comments that they've left? Because if there is, right, give us a shout later and we'll mobilize some gang shit. And it's 3 minutes 16. Gang poo, and we'll get them to come along and tell them all about you. Apologies if everybody's saying sounds fine. Charles in, nice to see you, pal. I think that's a new name on here. Jacqueline Hemmons, nice. Jono's in, nice one. Cheers for letting us know. Michael Everest in, nice to see you. Matty's saying Emily needs to adjust the volume. Like me, she's from Gateseed, so you cannot hold it against her. Before we crack on, just for the throat, right? Oh, man. What we're going to do is, if I can find the bugger, stick with sit-arm music on. If you're new to it, we often just take a little throat break. We've had the kettle on, bit of tea. That's what we like. Ravi Shankar in the house. Lemon bomb mixed with peppermint for me today. Stomach and vascular system covered. Jeez, man, I'm telling you. Well, I've got a top up for you today. Just leeching on centrist Melt's faces, and also there's a bit on Privileges Committee, and also we're winning and we'll stay winning, and I'm going to tell you why later on. But before we do that, have another swiggy of tea. My throat, man. We'll get through it though. Full Beddenfield hat on, as you can see. Hide current comment. Sound is sound. Nice one, Ashley. Lovely. No worries, Emily. Maybe tell you what, 2 seconds. I'm just going to give you some more sound, Emily, from my soundboard here, but it's a very fine touch, right? So hopefully that little bit there is going to help you. Joanne's saying get some ginger, sort your stomach out. I will actually. I've got some ginger bags downstairs, so I shall do such matters for you. Not a problem. I'm running about 50% power today, so bear with us. But we're getting it done. Oh, I could have said shit there as well. It's 5:37. Oh man, that's an opportunity missed. Shiza. I don't believe it. Before we crack on though, thank you to everybody, right? You've lobbed about 100 watch hours on since I put the call out since I've been ill. It's on a lag, so we might have done it. I don't know, but for audio people, we are 56 watch hours out of 4,000. I mean, look at how close that progress bar is before monetization on YouTube. Well, I've got to apply for it and they manually look at your content. So fingers crossed on that one. We're a little spicy. Hopefully that's all fine. So if you just could keep doing that, watching the videos, running the videos, and as soon as I know, I'll let you know. But honestly, thank you so much. Like, you know, if you've been tuning in for a while, you'll know it's been a struggle with my health. I've done a couple of months on, couple of months off. Had the road traffic accident to start the year. We were so close to doing this then, and they go backwards as well as forwards. So honestly, thanks for turning the tide on that one, and hopefully we do it today. That would be tremendous, man. I would love that. I really would. I'd also love another swig of tea for this throat. 2 seconds. Oh God. Oh, sorry, you've got to hear this if you're on the metro or doing your post round or whatever it is you're doing. I apologize for the crackle throat, but we're doing our best. If you want to support our work, go to patreon.com/cowdaily, patreon.com/cowdaily. Massively appreciated at all times. Also, if you want to make one-off contribution to our work, link in the description of this show, wherever you're watching or listening to it, for the PayPal. Cheers, dudes. Also, if you're on the playback on any platform, we tend to go live at 10 o'clock every weekday morning, maybe 4 to 5. We're building towards everyone with the health. Also, you can listen to this on Spotify. You can listen to this on Apple Podcasts. We're doing well in the Mexico podcast charts. Number 10 we went in at. Never happened before. Weird that happened this week. So if you want to catch us sometimes on the live, or if you want to miss the live and you want to catch us back, also YouTube, the playback's there. So got you covered. Oh, man. Also, please share the stream if you would. It'd be very much appreciated. Reet. Let's leech on some faces, shall we? Aye, what we got for you. Before we do, though, I found this funny. One of the comments on the page, James Summerson Hollywood, always love Vorderman. She's my celebrity pass. What's yours? Chris Tate replies, mine's my cow. Chris, I'm deeply honoured. James replies, that doesn't surprise me. He's a very handsome man. I am, to be fair. I replied, lads, I'm deeply honoured, but I don't want the bumming. But maybe I'll bum you one day. I don't know. I'm more of a giver. I've always been more comfortable giving. So maybe that'll happen, you know. Catches offside. How about that? Anyway, Wes Streeton tweeted this. An unelected House of Lords can't block an elected House of Commons. If you don't want Tory laws to go through, Parliament elects a Labour government. Vorderman quote tweets him in a big departure from her Vote Labour sketch. Believe me, Wes Streeting, Shadow Health Secretary, who's received nearly 200,000 payments from private healthcare companies. For those who don't know, we had Jules from Every Doctor on last week, and we went through all of this. She's the person who leads the organisation and is doing this sterling work. So absolutely fantastic to see it's filtering through to Vorderman there. UK Labour made a terrible mistake last night. You seem very happy to have taken away some of our freedoms, or you're just Tories in a different colour. What this is a bill which effectively has made the UK a police state and gives ridiculous amounts of powers to counteract peaceful protest. Peaceful protest is effectively banned in the UK now. And a functioning democracy cannot call itself functioning or a democracy unless there's space for peaceful protest, like Just Stop Oil. That is peaceful protest. Whether you like what they're doing or not, that's exactly what it is. So, also, Gary Lineker, dearie me, and he retweets something from Lord Coker, Labour will abstain on the fatal motion, will not block the bill. Well, we've got it for you right here. So let's just launch this into the stream and you can tell what all about it. Right, it's in. Sweet. Check this. Lord Coker, Labour Lord, what mealy-mouthed shite has he got forward? Here it is. 2 seconds. Maybe my headphones are broken. I don't know, but I cannot hear that. I'll just fix that. Just bear with me, my friends. It's probably on. I don't know why that is. Oh, why isn't that fucking working, dude? Absolute shite bags. Right, we're in. I'll take it out. I'll put it back in because that usually works. And we'll try. Oh my God. Right, for whatever reason, that isn't working. I've had, honestly, no problems. Let us know in the comments whether you can actually hear that as it runs, because that would be absolutely tremendous. That would be really good because for whatever reason, I'm having lots of bloody glitches today. It's not a problem. It was just an addition. Lineker quote tweeted the mealy mouth crap from the Labour Lord there. So he's telling us there's no sound there, that no problem. What I'll try and do is I'll try resharing it. It wasn't, StreamYard wasn't picking up my microphone earlier. That's why we were late starting. So I'm going to give it one more try. If not, we'll think on my feet and we'll just crack on because I can just speak these things. So let's see. Tried it once more. Apologies for the delay, but StreamYard's really having a shite today. Shite yard. Let's try this. Nah, not working. Bag it off. I'm just going to try the other video for later as well and just see if that's going to work. It might blow it slightly, but I want to know whether I'm actually needing to use this shit. Right. It's like proper, your call is very important to us, nice. Your call is very important. Right. Is it there? Is it not? Remove class. Right. I'm going to try this, see if this one works.
I've got a brilliant.
Not working either. Wild. Right. No problem. I'm going to get rid of all of them videos. They're not for us today, but that's all right. It's not like my throat's knackered and I needed the break. But here we go. Back in the hoose like Scooter. So Lineker, who went in on the other week for reasons that are in that episode, which you should go to, and also Vorderman, previous to that, as we've just read out, having a centrist meltdown. These are the people who've been like, yay, Labour, anybody but the Tories. Ha! What captures? What captures? Glasgow's saying the Boris one played. Oh, you know what it is? Hold on. I might be able to fix this. Hey, let's try it. So I'm going to go back to share screen. I don't know why it's happening in these ways. Right, hold on a minute. Oh, God. Do you know what it is? I got rid of them. Right, it's not happening. Back on it, though. Oh, God, the throat. Right, so anyway, what Wes Streeting was saying was this. An unelected House of Lords can't block an elected House of Commons. If you don't want Tory laws to go through, Parliament elected Labour government. Coker was basically saying the same thing, mind. So it's absolute bullshit, and here's why. So I pulled up just a few examples. The Welfare Reform Bill 2012, the House of Lords proposed amendments to the bill that aimed to make significant changes to the welfare system. They had concerns about how it would affect vulnerable individuals and families. Debunking number 1. Number 2, the tax credits, income thresholds, and determination of rates regulations 2015. The House of Lords voted against these regulations, which sought to reduce tax credits for low-income families. The government eventually dropped the proposed changes due to opposition in the House of Lords. Another one, the European Union Withdrawal Agreement Bill 2019. The House of Lords suggested amendments to this bill which implement the UK's withdrawal from the European Union. They want to enhance protections for EU citizens' rights, parliamentary scrutiny, and the role of devolved administrations. Some amendments were accepted, while others were not. Unsurprisingly, Streeting, Coker, Labour in general, absolutely lying. Or, more likely, Wes Streeting being such a basic bitch, isn't across anything other than Peter Mandelson's yeah. Jesus, I'm going to have to shut up, man. I'm going to get black bags in a second. But Streeting, liar, we know this. Being proven by the day. Vorderman's caught up, which is class. Well done. Where's Streeting? We need the private sector to help reform the NHS. From the Spectator. Class. Do we now? Well, if you want to know all about that, go to Should I Vote Labour, the playlist. Hey, maybe he's even run it. Help we get monetized. But we break all of this down there. We can't keep revisiting that for new people who are getting on this now. Fortunately, it's all there on youtube.com/cow daily. Please subscribe while you're there. Also, one of the best pages about, right, Middle England Mail. And a rare departure from being out of character here on one of our posts. And also, please follow Middle England Mail. Somebody who does satire the right way. It's so keenly observed that quite a lot of people every day get fully catfished into believing this is a real thing. But anyway, it's quite sad that a political intervention from Carol Vorderman could hold such significance, but it really does. She's not the type of voice they want to be losing right now, they mean Labour. It's delightful how she's just gone for Streeting. Someone needs to. He personifies everything that's wrong with politics. You only have to look in his eyes to see he has no soul. True indeed, Middle England Mail. Great précis. And that's just it. The whole lot of this is working off like influencers and all of that. And one of the reasons why I went in on Vorderman quite recently, details in that show, is she was basically doing the whole F the Tories thing, and the analysis ended there. Now, reality seems to have smacked her right in the dish. And she's got counting skills, so maybe she can count the ways how many times she was wrong. But we can all be wrong, but now she's right. So that's fantastic. Fantastically, everybody who tunes in, watches, or listens to this, because this is absolutely about the live chat as well, is right too. Well done, everybody. Right. Now, are we Voter gang or not? Dunno. I've put it down there in my description, but one of them. I'm a bitter and twisted, petty individual, to be quite honest. And it's going to take a hell of a lot more than just this, Carol. Let's see how we are for the next week or so. But for now, Voter gang. What else do I have? Where's Streeting? It was just me basically calling him a whopper on there. I just wanted to show that. Please go and don't do that in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. That would be terrible. Glasgow in the comments as well, yeah. Obviously, the king of memery. Libs realising Starmer's Labour is just a different flavour of Tory. Leftists fucking told you so. That's what this shows. Al's about. Also, I love stuff like this. Somebody's quote tweeted Vorderman's tweet from before about Streeting. Julia Suzanne, who has the Labour Rose, the Keir Starmer Union Jack, and some champagne glasses. Well done, trashing the only party capable of defeating the Tories. It makes no difference to you, but some of us can't afford rent, bills, or food. We need a Labour government. Well, it's clearly not you with the champagne glasses, but like somebody who's slavishly a Labour supporter, ride or die in 2023. I mean, you get caught for lying every day. So look at this. I love the meltdown happening here, though. We need a Labour government. That shit doesn't even work on Carol Vorderman anymore, man. Shut up. Finally, pure cringe. And it is. Cringe machine. I love these people, man. I love them. And it was always a matter of time before we're going to leech on their face. Why? Because we are telling the truth and they are full of shit and they're trying to use gaslighting and whatever other negative tactic they can to get people guilted into voting Labour. Don't touch them with a friggin' barge pole, ever. Also on the screen for audio people, loads of lovely dog's feet on a meme. Guys like with feet like this have 125% chance of stealing your girl. Shouts to Scrappy. We picked up his ashes yesterday, and it's only really now that I can get through a show where else mention him. I miss him every day, man. He was such a lovely lad. I bring this up too. We're getting into hot weather. I've seen a lot of pictures of dogs with blistered feet. Get yourselves out early doors in the morning. I mean, I'm ill and I still got out just before the sun and did the business. So knackered for it, but you got to look after your boys and girls, you know what I mean? So big up dogs and fly high with the angles, scrappy lad. Fly high with them angles. Moving on to some COVID stuff, and we're going to do the Boris privileges stuff, but we're going to stay winning, and here's why. Everybody here who knows the story arc of this show knows that we made a decision early that we would back the truth and what's right, and that means never letting down clinically vulnerable people, ever. And that meant going to war with a large selection of I hate these words, our audience, followers, that kind of thing. People who are just absolutely fully balls deep in the eugenics because they wanted to get out for a pint and that. And I can understand that, like, rebound shit quite a bit. Strange enough, your boy Russell Brand there, who's all peace and love, doesn't really say much about clinically vulnerable people. Funny that, isn't it? That would stop him getting out there on stage because that's what it's really all about, so you can get all of that love off the cult. But anyway, on the screen, this is from your boy Turn. I've mentioned him a few times before, one of the best accounts out there. And if you think journalism's coming from the legacy media, you've got another thing coming. It's coming from Twitter accounts like this. So what he's saying is, oh, wow, this is great. Thank you at Darvish37 for flagging this one. Quietly, oh so quietly, NHS England produced detailed guidance about how to clean the air in hospitals. Now it can help reduce airborne transmission of pathogens. We will stay winning because we are doing this work. And without you people in the comment section, and obviously as well without the situation that I went through, which I've talked about so many times on here. If you want to know more about that, most recently with Dr. Julia Grace Patterson from Every Doctor just last week. We've been bringing this up with Deputy of the Green Party, shouts to the Greens, and Caroline Lucas, who put some evidence that was sent forward to the all-party parliamentary group on COVID, probably about a month ago now. Now, I don't know if these things are linked, but these are popping up left and right. I've noticed one of the unions, the National Education Unions, also put some guidance out. It doesn't go quite far enough, but it's a start. But anyway, we're winning and we're going to stay winning because we're not letting this go until we've got clean air quality standards commensurate with the issues that we all face in the UK. We're going to have what Belgium has, which is a law to put air quality meters outside of each venue and HEPA filters in each venue as standard under law. The laws already bloody exist around air quality. So all we've got to do is leverage this, and we're pushing it. Trust me, we're not letting this go. Neither's Turn and all of these other long COVID kids, clinically vulnerable families, Every Doctor. We're all forming like Voltron, and we're going to make this happen. We're making this happen. So the NHS has put this guidance out, which is a huge step forward, man. One of the reasons why I wanted to get up here today, because I just wanted to fucking praise every single one of you. Not only for the work you've been doing to push this by sharing it on social media and letting people know what's really going down. Because if we don't do that right, and we don't fight against all this misinformation, we're going to die and we're going to get disabled when it's completely avoidable with some relatively cheap filter systems. Now, if you're just tuning in now, you can go back for more detail, but quickly off the top, in the Houses of Parliament, they pre-installed, these are being installed. They've got industrial HEPA filter systems. Ministry of Defense, they've got them. World Economic Forum in Davos, they're in every room, right? So why have these so-called elites got them and we haven't in our places of work? Well, it's not going to fucking happen. We haven't sacrificed, right, years of our lives, so it could just be like pretending that this shit's over. I'm not playing these fucking games anymore. Not happening. We're going to take this to the death. Freedom or fucking death every fucking day. Looks like it might be freedom though, because this is brilliant. What a great thing to have seen. So anyway, one hilarious footnote to his Turn. They're really carefully avoiding saying that COVID spreads by airborne transmissions. Mad. I don't know what that's about. They word it very carefully, so they never say that, just talking about airborne pathogens. But here is the required reading. Just going to skip to that. Referenced in it, application of HEPA device in healthcare settings. As you can see, Turn has highlighted the removal of airborne severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus. So it's in the footnotes, but it's not in the main body. We need to get this stuff in the main body so people acknowledge COVID is airborne. Magic. But it doesn't end there. Application of HEPA filter device for air cleaning in healthcare spaces, guidance and standards. As you can see, linked to NHS England. Brilliant to see that on their website and published. Also, turn goes on, my word, and there's one for ultraviolet too. This is amazing. My filter system's not in the room at the minute. My partner's got it downstairs because it's hot in the room as well, and it helps with that. But that does have your ultraviolet in it too. What it does is it changes the air in the room 5 times an hour, drags like COVID and other viruses and whatever into it and just kills it with UV. And you know what? It might sound expensive, that, but it wasn't. I got it cheap on Amazon for about 50 quid, and I could little afford it. But you know what? I can't afford to be off work any longer because I'm self-employed. And all of the health problems that I had due to this and spinal surgery, money spent, skinned still. Fighting my way back, though, and I swear to God, I'm buzzing. Turn goes on to say, now let's do schools and care homes and public transport, and let's tell everyone what we're doing, and that we're doing it because repeat COVID infections fucks you up. Big up Turn, big up everybody who's put their shoulder at the wheel on this, because it's not easy, man. Like, doing this stuff is not easy. The amount of crap you get off people who've had their heads pickled by billionaire factions, like on your Rumbles and all of these other mad platforms. Like, some days, man, especially when you're not well, it sucks. It also sucks, like, people who you would call friends or associates, like, just, it's just like they're licking windows with Mark Fowler, man. Shut your faces, man. What we're going to do, though, is deal with evidence. Again, england.nhs.uk, application of ultraviolet devices for air cleaning occupied healthcare spaces, guidance and standards. We've got guidance and fucking standards now, man. This is a massive step forward. Fucking, without doing the actual round of applause for the microphone and people listening on audio, round of applause for every single fucking one of yous. Because without yous, I wouldn't be doing this. And without yous, like, pushing this work and feeding into this work and being here every day in that live chat, wouldn't be happening, man. Like, we wouldn't be pushing this from our end. It's not just about us. It's about, like, this whole crew of people which are forming around this who just will not take this shit anymore. Love yous. Because, do you know what? I've told this story, and if you're new here, buses in Andalusia have got them. Every public transport has got them there. And I went on one, and you're just like, oh, God. Oh. Just so relaxed, and you realize how up a height you are because there's no mitigations. Now, I don't know what's going on with my immune system, right? But if you're clinically vulnerable or clinically extremely vulnerable, look at it like this, right? We're plotting the biggest jailbreak in human history because we're not letting my brothers and sisters stay in the fucking house. I'm not, and I know you're not either. So we're fucking dancing. This is a huge day, a massive step forward, and it's been a culmination of a lot of work for a lot of people. But again, just the beginning. We've got to get the fucking things in these buildings, man. Trust me. So anyway, jump on some comments, see what you're saying. Jacqueline is saying, do you think these filters should be installed in homes for CV, CV, or disabled people or standard? Do you think that they should be made into law? Definitely. And I think I want my tax money to pay for that. I don't want that taken out of people's money. Like, because at the end of the day, it's not their fault. And the society that I want is a one where everybody's free. Because if people can't leave the house or they can't invite people around at their house, then we're not free. That's not freedom. I want to put an event on, and I've told you, I'm not putting a proper event on, right, until we've got a proper venue with a proper filter system and mitigations in place so every single person can come and feel as safe as they possibly can in 2023. If people aren't on that, I don't want to talk to you, because the top and bottom of it is, right, those are human beings. We are human beings. And unless everybody can come, listen, nothing's different. Milk the Cow's always been about trying to be as inclusive as possible, right? Without being a mad old cringe about it. So this is just a follow-on from that based on the rajness of the last few years and what we need to do. And here's the thing about the filter systems, man, you know, with the testing and all of that, I mean, like, I'm not convinced that they even work anymore because they've just let the virus escape, and there's all these escape variants, and I just don't think we know enough. But what I do know is these filter systems will pull these things out of the air, and it's airborne. So think of it like this: if we've got them in our houses, we can just invite people around. Like, as long as you're not going, like, licking their face and having them spit in your mouth. I mean, you might like that, I don't know, take a test. And who am I to judge? I mean, geez, there's a lot of sexual practices. I mean, there's a couple of lads who wanna bum us there, James and Chris, so, you know, please do. So, hold on, Joanne's saying, "Do you keep your mask on while you're on one of those buses, Mike?" I do. I certainly do, because I don't think I'm gonna have enough protection, and for the sake of half an hour, I'm wearing my FFP2, but that's double the protection. And I mean, look, if I'm getting invited around somebody's house and they've got a filter system, I'm not gonna sit there in my mask all night. We'll just get the filter rocking and we're decent, you know? Um, I've been looking for something like this for a while because I wanna socialize, you know, but I can't afford, literally, not just financially, but I was saying to my partner, spiritually, I can't afford to get long-term ill again. I don't think I've got another long-term, like, bout in us. Um, and I just want to move on from that, actually, because I mentioned it, like, Jules last week on the Every Doctor one, about how I wanted to take my own life after the spinal surgery, and I had real suicidal ideation problems, and I just want to move on from that because it's upsetting. But yes, I do keep my mask on, mate, and I suggest everybody does too. But we certainly need to have both. Somebody's saying, "Have you got a link to the filter, please?" Dave, yeah, haven't seen you on here for a while. Nice to see you. I'll post it on the page if you want. I'll just inbox the page and I'll send you the link. I haven't got an affiliate deal or anything like that. It's just the one I bought off Amazon. So simple as that. So do that. Jai Mungus in the area. Ari, remember Jai Mungus from the Royal, whatever it was, event, King's Coronation. What a great lad he is. Jacqueline's saying these filters should be installed in all new builds and all domestic properties retroactively. I agree. We need an absolute root and branch everywhere. Retrofit them, mandate them into law and workplaces everywhere. And do you know what else, right? Then we can possibly have this pandemic and other ones like it over. I read something today that, like, the pandemic preparedness in the UK has been ripped to bits. Ripped to bits. Joanne's saying, been following Jai Mungus, good chap, defo. Glasgow saying, yeah, please, I'd like to check one out. No problem. Just inbox the page, and that'll remind us, and I'll post it on the page. Or just send it to you. I mean, I didn't really want to post Amazon links on the fucking page, like, but at the end of the day, that was where I could get them from. So Bezos can have his bit if it means I'm staying alive. We can't be too precious these days. Buzzing though, you can probably tell how I didn't want to miss this, you know. Nobody wants to miss these things. I certainly don't. So anyway, a little bit on this privileges thing before we jet, because my throat is packing in. Clinically vulnerable families say, we've concluded in deliberately misleading the House, Mr. Johnson committed a serious contempt, more serious because it was committed by the Prime Minister. There is no precedent, and he did so repeatedly. Undermining COVID laws risk lives. Hashtag privileged committee say clinically vulnerable families. They're just quoting a piece from the judgment, which was handed down about an hour ago, I think. If you want to follow them at CV_CEV, that's clinically vulnerable families, doing great work, man. So anyway, these are the things that they've said that he did: deliberately misleaded the House, deliberately misleading the committee, breaching confidence, impugning the committee, and thereby undermining the democratic process of the House, being complicit in the campaign of abuse and attempted intimidation of the committee. In view of the fact that Mr. Johnson is no longer a member, we recommend that he should not be granted a former member's pass. The only person I know that that's happened to off the top of my head is Chris Williamson. In my view, he should be giving it back, but that's another story. So anyway, they recommended that he would get a 90-day suspension, which is like fucking whatevs, really. I mean, like 3 months. One of the Melt journalists was saying that, like, oh, that's the most it could be. Anyway, Caroline Lucas responded. He was complicit in a campaign of abuse. He breached confidence by deliberately misleading the House and deliberately misleading the committee. His enablers and client journalists should be ashamed, and we should call them out. Really, really happy to see an elected official use the term client journalist and ask for that. Some response from his nodding dogs. Here's the nodding dog in chief at Nadine Dorris. This report has overreached and revealed its true predetermined intentions. It's quite bizarre. Harman, that's Harriet Harman, declared her position before it began. Jenkins, the most senior MP on the committee, attended an actual party. Any Conservative MP who would vote for this report is fundamentally not a Conservative and will be held to account by members and the public. Deselections may follow. It's serious. MPs will now have to show this committee what real justice looks like and how it's done. Interesting coming from her, the neck of these people, but what are you going to do? Client journalist Dan Wooten, I warned from day one that the Privileges Committee hearing was a stitch-up and a farce designed to end Boris Johnson's political career. The findings today prove that beyond any doubt. It is a kangaroo court. He likes is in capitals there. The MPs can't say that without fear of censure, chilling times. Load of shite. But the reason I brought that up is it's part of this thing that Steve Bannon wants, which is to flood the zone with shit. And it's one of the clips I was going to show you, but it doesn't matter really. I can just tell you what it is. Bannon, obviously being, if you're new here, Trump's former chief strategist, just basically the puppet master of the global fash. So these client journalists start doing the flood the zone with shit thing, which is like basically just calling into question the integrity of these committees and procedures, which, you know, you can understand. I mean, look at the state, like the way Corbyn was treated and all of that, but we'll not get deep into that today. I think a lot of you know what that's all about. So, as I've said just the other day, and I've said many times, these people will stop at nothing. This is definitely just the beginning. It's not the end. But I tell you what, we're winning and we're going to stay winning. One of the ways that we can do that is do not let these people destroy you. Learn, train, and fight back. And what I mean by that is learn to defend yourself, not just physically, but intellectually too. And we do that every day. But learn to actually defend yourself. Not joking. Get it done. Because there's precedence for this in human history, and these people are just the worst, man. The worst. A few comments before we get off. Jez Hunting House, nice to see you, my friend. I'm starting to think we can't trust Boris Johnson. Obviously, being posh and rich means he's above the law. Why should we not all trust a man who was sacked by a newspaper for lying twice? Indeed. I mean, he's got such a great track record previously. Sorry, my throat's going. Do you know what it is? Oh God, I'm just going to jog on. I've tried my best. I'm going to, as they showed the other day, I'm going to stick my head down. So there's somebody's popped up. Boz Carter, I don't mean to be a lurk. I'm just more of a listener at the minute. I'm a massive fan, though. Love your work. Massive fan of you, Boz. We're all humans, mate, and we're equal. So love you, mate. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the support that you gave. Same goes for absolutely everybody who's tuning in on the playback, the lives, anything, sharing the work, getting the watch hours, and just generally making this happen. Because, Jesus, man, if like my health is being held together by pieces of string and whatever, let's get these bloody filters everywhere. And before that, though, please run some videos because we're so close to being monetized, and that's going to really, really, really help. Jez Hunt, welcome, Boz. Nice one. And that's what I love about this community, man. So welcoming, so inclusive, and there's no cringe involved. Thank you, everybody, for all your support recently with Scrappy, with me accident, and with everything. Let's fucking win. Because we're going to, I'm telling you, the truth will always win. And there's no time for all this be kind shit. We can be kind with each other. But I tell you what it is, right? People best not crosswork because we're on the march. Love every single one of you. I'm going to get rested and just sit there and laugh at the fact that we've got guidance by the NHS now. Get in! And big up everybody who's clinically vulnerable and clinically extremely vulnerable. Just that little bit more today, because that's all for you. Later.